Well, just that they want to do the job. Uh, that's, I would say, almost all of them. You know, and the women, too, that show up now to be smoke jumpers, I'm totally impressed, I'll tell you. Those people, that's what they want to do. And they're willing to do anything to join the club. And that mostly is physical tests to prove that they're hungry enough for the job and interested enough to just go through all the barriers that are designed to keep the people that aren't that interested out of the job. But to really enjoy the job, see, there's a big other cutting line. You have got to have fun at that job. You can't just want to be a smoke jumper just to be a smoke jumper. You got to enjoy the characters that show up for the job. And if you do that, then they all feel that. And next thing you know, you really got a real good team. Not just the way it works is they all seem to care about the other guy and always happen to like carry more on the pack out than the other guy type thing. That's all part of the what would you call it? Sort of a ethics of the type. And there's a lot of things that nobody ever talks about. Like this is a pointed question, and of course I can't set up a bunch of rules on what would be the ideal smoke jumper. There's probably no such thing, but well, like look at Mouse, for example. Well, Mouse was a little guy. He was 110 pounds, soaking wet, with his pockets filled with silver dollars, trying to make the weight cut off. But he wanted to be a smoke jumper, and he wanted to be a Marine, so he fought all the rules that were designed to cut these guys off. And what he did is he outwilled the rules and got in to be a Marine and go fight for his country, and got in to be a smoke jumper to go hang out with a really great bunch of guys. So I guess that's the bottom line, is you just kind of want to do that particular type of job. I tell you what, one quality I've seemed to think that all smoke jumpers have is acrophobia. It shows up. I'll tell you where it shows up in tree climbing, because you have to go through climbing these trees to retrieve your parachute afterwards. And I don't know very many smoke jumpers that their favorite task is climbing trees. They're petrified. We one time got sent to pick the cones for these superior trees. So they had all these Doug firs up on the coast, and they're all in excess of well over 200 feet, some of them around 250 feet. So we would have to climb these trees. And of course, I got assigned to bring the guys that were on this crew. So who were they? They were all the rookies, because all the other guys had figured out a way to not get on that particular assignment. So here I show up on this, I take the crew with these poor kids, and they're absolutely petrified. I remember Gary Mills was my boss, and we get there, and he calls me the first day, and he says, "Hey, Trip, how's it going with the rooks on the tree climbing?" And I go, "Well, they're rooks, Millsy. I got them a go probably about 40 feet high today, but we're nowhere near near the cones." And I says, "I don't know how I'm going to be able to encourage them to get up there, other than to just go up there and do them, and then just keep encouraging them to go do that." Okay, so next thing you know, these kids really did come through and fought their fears and got up there. And I'll tell you what, here's a really amazing experience, much, much more frightening than jumping out of an airplane. Be on the top, the very, very top of a 250-foot tree when the wind is blowing, and you're really watching that whole ground moving back and forth. Okay, so we did this for quite a while. And then we got some help. The Redmond Smokejumpers were going to send a crew. So they who did they come up with? Well, they came up with the base leader and one squad leader, a guy named Carl Petty, and then a whole bunch of rooks. Well, okay, what was involved in this tree climbing thing is we had to climb the tree and send down 3 cones. I think 3 cones. So they cut the cone in half, and they have to find at least 3 good seeds in the cone. If they can't find good seeds, then you don't pick the cones in that tree. Okay, so just getting up there, okay, so after the first day, I call up Tom Bowen. He's the head of the Redmond guys. I go, hey, how's it going? Did you get your guys to get up there and get some cones? And he goes, well, no. He says, I can't get these guys to climb. And I said, well, just go climb the trees and encourage them, and they'll all end up being up there in a few days. I mean, you've got a lot of cones. And he goes, well, Carl climbs. I go, well, everybody's got to climb. And so, anyways, a couple of days more goes by. I can't get my boys to climb the trees. And so then all of a sudden he is, oh, okay, Troop, okay. We went up this road and we marked all the no-climb trees. I said, oh, you finally got the guys? He said, well, we determined which trees weren't any good to pick. So I assumed that he got them climbing. Well, that's not what happened. So when he went through all the roads and he had determined all the trees that weren't pickable, he said, yep, I'm taking my boys back to Redmond. And I go, well, we got a lot of trees to pick. What? How come? He says, I can't get them to climb. I says, well, how did you determine all these trees that we go by now? He says, well, I had a rifle with me. It was my target rifle, and I was shooting the cones out of the tree, and that's how I found out whether they were pick or no pick things. So I go, oh man, that was a good idea. I mean, really was a good idea, but that's not helping the Forest Service get the seeds they need for their superior tree program. So anyways, that was the kind of the reason. Well, anyway, so we had this one guy on the crew who was a rookie. His name was Art Benefield, and what he did, and we had this other guy, Doug Beck, and he was a photographer. So the 2 guys got together, and what they did is they took a picture of an empty tree, okay? And then they took a picture of all the Cave Junction crew around at the same level, giving the Gobi salute. And so then what they did, he got back to the base. They went and got a climbing spur. They painted it gold. They put 2 ping pong balls at the bottom of the spur, painted gold. And then they had a deal. This is the Smokejumper High Tree Climbing Award. And then they had the picture that was the empty tree, said Redmond, and then on the other side of the climbing spur was this tree that says the CJ crew, and there's everybody on the crew at the same level. So it was really a cute trophy. And Millsy, our great leader who filled in as a project air officer there, he said, Troop, we can't do this. That'd just be pretty unhumorous deal. They would really be pissed off at us. So we can't do it. So we had to forget about the whole thing. But that, for anybody who sees this tape, that really is what happened. And it was too bad that trophy, if it was like in existence, that would be probably the best trophy for smoke jumping ever. But that's what I mean about what the qualities of smoke jumper. Well, one of them is they all have acrophobia, and I used to train the tree climbers. That was one of my jobs as a trainer, and getting the guys to go up those trees, it's just really like pulling teeth on a grizzly bear or something. It just was really hard. Anyway, that's what I can tell you about the qualities of a smoke jumper.